Hi FlossTube, it's Diane. Today is November 14th, 2021, and earbuds always, not that my hair ever does what I want it to do anyway, but this video, I know I did one just a couple days ago, but this video is going to talk of my 2022 plans, including more explanation on how I'm doing my WIPGO. And before I jump in, yeah, last video. Oh my gosh, I couldn't count. I couldn't tell you. Oh my word, my internal calendar must be really off. Thanksgiving in America is November 25th, not November 20th or 21st. I don't even remember what I said anymore. And I actually have 6 bags in that giveaway, plus the international giveaway. So that's why I kept saying 7 in my head, but really there's only 6 physical bags and then 1 special for international viewers. Because of all the weird postage stuff, that's how I chose to do it. The giveaway is for 7 years on FlossTube, and the last video number was 152. The giveaway is open, and it will close on December 28th, 2021. You have to comment on video 152 in order to be eligible to win. So let me go over this again. For international viewers, due to the weird postage stuff, you need to use the word international with a capital I. I don't know if the random comment picker is picky on uppercase or lowercase, so I'm just saying capital I. And I'd love it if you just kind of give me a general, I'm in the UK, I'm in Australia, I'm in New Zealand, I'm in Spain, I'm in insert country. You don't have to get very, very specific. I don't need that information. But I just like to know. I'm curious that way. What the prize for international viewers only is a $20 gift certificate to Heartstring Samplery website. Many of her patterns on there are PDFs, so you will have the ability to download it and then print it off however you print off your other PDFs. Some people print at home, some at work, some at the library, some at a coffee shop or whatever. $20 US. And that's only international people. For the US people, I have project bags that you may choose to enter and win. Project bag number 1, which is technically prize number 2, is this one. And the lining is this tealy color. I grabbed the right stack this time because I can't believe I messed that up twice. This reminded me of the state of Texas, which I have had the pleasure of visiting once. So that is what word you need to use in your comment if you would like to be eligible to win this bag. Texas with a capital T. Texas. For this bag, excuse me, these are all Christmassy holiday words and the stripes, and the inside is this fun plaid. I can't speak today either, apparently, that I found at the store. And for this guy, if you'd like to win this one, stripes, plural. And this guy, poinsettias, and this beautiful scroll work in the background. So scroll, S-C-R-O-L-L, singular, is the word I will be looking for. I thought poinsettia, but I thought that would be a little challenging to spell. And red with gold leaves. Then this one, flag, F-L-A-G. And it has a chevron on the inside, black and white. And this one, the blue and green ornaments with these are green pine needles. You can see it better now. Good. Last time I couldn't figure out why. It must have been the angle I had the camera on. I am not a professional. green plaid. The word for this bag is green, Green. And the final one is this guy. I loved this fabric when I found it in Wisconsin. I said, oh, that's going home with me. Couldn't figure out how much to bring home. That was the challenge. And it's a chevron also. So this one is stars, plural. So STARS, stars, plural. Green, GREEN, singular. Flag, FLAG, singular. Scroll, SCROLL, singular. Stripes, STRIPES, plural. And Texas, capital TEXAS. You can enter for any of the bags. You can only win one. So if as I'm drawing you win one, then the others, if your name gets drawn again, I will pick another name. Because I'd like to send these out to 6 different people. I will be sending them out probably at the end of this year, beginning of next year. So you have something to look forward to in January, should you win. And again, that's US viewers only. International viewers, it's a $20 gift certificate, Heartstring Samplery, $20 US to Heartstring Samplery. You can download her patterns, and the word for that is international with a capital I. So capital INTERNATIONAL. Yeah, I can spell. So, Patriotic stitching for 2022. I'm going to start going through all the patterns. Some are patterns, some are kitted, some are not, some are started. And I'm going to show you progress if it's started. If it's not, then there's nothing to show. But I just want to go through. Now, for the patterns that are not kitted or started, I'm not going to stitch every single one of these this next year. Be realistic. I am a mom of 14 kids. I am still homeschooling 7 of my children. I have a grad in May for my homeschool. I have a grad from college in May. And life, and I love to quilt, so that's also in there, and I love wool work, so that's also in there. But these are all eligible. I thought, all these patriotic patterns, I want to just, that's my theme. So, and for me, patriotism involves freedom to choose or not. Yes, I'm going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. Right? I'm going to turn right. I'm going to turn left. I'm going to buy bananas. I'm going to buy oranges. Those type of everyday freedoms that in America, to be honest, we often take for granted. I will admit that freely. With my son being on the United States Marine, thank you for those who have said good job on getting his sergeant stripes. That just brings a whole new feel to these patriotic patterns, and I have extended family who have served in the military in some way or another. And in the U.S., 100% of our military are volunteers. People willing, literally, to put their lives on the line. I so admire that. So if you are active or retired military, I don't want to say former military because there's no such thing as a former Marine. Thank you. Especially since November 11th was, November 10th was the 240-something, I should have looked it up, birthday of the United States Marine Corps. November 11th is called Remembrance Day or Armistice Day or Veterans Day here in the States. So it's a good time of year to remember that. So I'm going to start with my patriotic stitching theme. Any of these are eligible for me to stitch on. Some of them, again, are already started or are kitted, and I want to finish the ones that are started if I can. Although you're going to see a couple of them, I would have to be stitching 36 hours a day to be able to get them done. But we'll just jump in. So these are all smalls, and for me, smalls is if you add the vertical stitches and horizontal stitches divide by 2, is it less than 100? And that's what these fall into. So this is the first one. I picked this up at StitchCon. It was a freebie. Americana. It is by Rather Be Stitch and Designs. And it's just a little guy. It's glossy paper, so there is a bit of a glare. I'm sorry. So that's one. I'm going to be marking my list over here so I don't forget something. There are a few I'm going to avoid talking about when I explain my WIPGO. It'll make more sense. This one, Plum Street Samplers, Betsy's Tart. This one is actually all kitted with a 36 count fog and the called for threads, but I haven't started it yet. I've had it kitted for probably 2 years now. Well, maybe not that long, but close enough. Okay. Basket full of Summertime with my needle and thread. This one's not kitted at all, so I didn't want to take them all out of the packaging in case I lose pieces. So there's going to be crinkle in this video. But that one is just so cute. I love the flag, and yeah, I just love it. And the dog's holding the flag too. Although I have 2 dogs, maybe I should put, is that the color of Mozzie? Mozzie's that color. I could put right behind him a cream color dog for Stormy. Those are my dogs. So that has not been kitted at all. This one, I've chosen fabric, but I need to pull from fibers, and I'm just going to pull from my overdyes. This is Free and Brave. I purchased this in Tinsmith's Wife in Comfort, Texas in 2018. I need to get it stitched. It is so cute, and I've seen other people show theirs. I'm going to stitch it on 32 count Fiberlicious Oh My Moose. So it's more of a chocolatey, and that way this house, which is white, I want that to stick out a little more. And so, you know, as I start them, y'all still see them. This one, nope, that's not it. It is a Silver Creek sampler design, samplers design. I like their stuff. Their stuff is so cute and it's a little bit whimsical, and I can't seem to find this one right now. Okay, well, I'll just take from the top. This is Founding Promises. This came out Fall Expo, I think is what they called it, the online. And I am going to use the DMCs. Unless I feel led to use any overdyes, I'll just pull from my stash. I'm going to have to figure out how to make this work, because we'll just do that. This one, I'm going to do these out of order. So they're not going to be in alphabetical order, but oh well, that's okay. This is Lady Liberty by With Thy Needle. Where's the pattern? Here it is. By With Thy Needle and Thread. I purchased the pattern, I purchased the pattern and I purchased the fabric in Comfort, Texas at Tinsmith's Wife. It is started. I haven't got very far. I discovered I had a counting error and I got frustrated with myself, so I put it away. Because I'm not going to tear out the stitches that would need to come out to make it absolutely perfect, but I need to kind of figure out where to fudge to make it work. And this is on 36 count Aged Saffron by Dames of the Needle. I am not necessarily using the call for threads, pulling from my overdyed collection. So that one has been started. Lady Liberty, where are you? Did I put her in the wrong pile? You know what? I put her in the wrong pile. She's actually a medium. Oh well, life goes on. This one, the Summer Salt Boxes by Plum Street Samplery. I have started the spring salt boxes, and I have the autumn and the winter, but the summer salt boxes have the flag. And honestly, I'm thinking of putting these together and just having the flag go all the way across. When I stitch it, I'll stitch it on 40 count white. Not necessarily the called for colors. I'm just going to pull from my stash and we'll go from there. This is You're My Hero by Amy Brucken. Not kitted or started. This is Freedom Reigns. This is the one I was looking for. Silver Creek Samplery. I have not started nor kitted this one. I love the barn and I love her fonts. Her fonts are just beautiful. So, Grand Old Flag by Chessie and Me. Not kitted, not started. I love all the birds. Oh, that's an awful big bird on that house, but yeah, crows and crackles. We call them grackles with a G. They get pretty big. In Full Glory. Full Glory. You know what? I think it's in this one. They're going to be seeing this book a lot. Sweet Land of Liberty by Blackbird. There's 5 patriotic pieces, and I think I have all 5 of them on my list. In Full Glory. And that one is this guy right here. So that one, not kitted, not started. Language of Liberty, hands-on design. My friend Nayla was stitching this in March of 2020. She was part of a retreat. Beautiful. Not kitted, not started. Liberty and Justice for All. I picked this up at StitchCon. Summer House Stitchworks. Not kitted, not started. Liberty Lodge, Plum Street Samplers. Not kitted, not started. Liberty Rose. Blackbird. It's the only pattern in the book that does not show up on the cover. It's this one. We have 2 different linens and you stitch them together. I'm using the called for colors on, I'm trying to remember the fabrics. Where is it? It's not in this bag. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to track it down. Otherwise I don't know what I'll be stitching. I switched project bags for, oh no, it's stuck in here. Just look in the back, Diane. I was stitching project bags around because the project bag I had it in kept bending the book and I didn't want to damage my book. This is 40 count R&R vintage beeswax. Just a little bit on one of the roses. And then this one is R&R Park City Blend. So those are the 2 colors I'm using. So the rose is going to be done on this and the bird's done on this one. So let me put that in the bag so I do not misplace it again. I am using the called for colors. I think there's only 3. So Liberty Rose. Red, white, and blue. This is a freebie I got from Keepsakes. Cute little model they had. Sweet Cup of Liberty. Silver Creek Samplery. 28 count amber almond will be the linen that I use. I don't know if I'm going to do all of the over dyes except this toffee coffee color here. I really like that variegation. The others I haven't pulled threads for. And one more for Spacious Skies by Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery. Beautiful for Spacious Skies. So those are my small size pieces that are on my Patriotic Stitching 2022. Pause and I'm going to get the mediums. Okay, the mediums are definitely my I keep bumping the table. I am so sorry. Mediums are definitely my largest category. So you're going to see a lot of them. Neither of these two are started, but they are kitted. This is a new constellation Plum Street Samplers. And I don't remember what fabric I chose, but when I started, I'll show it to you. And this one, also by Plum Street, Peace, Love, and Purpose. So again, they're kitted and ready to go. And Plum Street Samplers is on my WIPGO board. I'll talk about that here in a few minutes. This is by Barbara Anna, and it is called Long May She Wave. Where's the actual cover photo? Oh, there it is. I'm actually restarting this one because I started it on 36 count flax. I love flax, but I started with 2 strands because 36, I really like 1 strand, and this has proven to me that I really like 1 strand. So I'm going to leave these flowers, but I'm going to pull this and then just stitch with 1 strand because it's just so thick. It's really not fun to stitch, and that's why I stitch, you know, to chill and enjoy what I do. So I will be pulling some of the stitches out and restarting that one. This is Glory Glory by Tree of Life Samplings. And I'm going to stitch it on 32 count Woodland by Fiberlicious. So nice green. I think it'll look nice on there. I think that's what I chose. No. That's in the wrong one. No, that's right. Okay. Can't read my own writing. Liberty Quaker by Luminous Fiber Arts. Picked this up at StitchCon. She had the model there. It was so cute. Singing in the Rain by Fiberlicious. So it'll be a darker blue. I don't think it'll clash with these. I haven't pulled threads. So when I pull threads, if they clash, then I'll have to make decisions. Liberty Quaker. This is America the Beautiful by My Big Toe Designs. Not kitted, no fabric, no threads. Not started. This one I picked up in Spring Green, Wisconsin at the Country Sampler, the Betsy Ross flag by Primitive Hair. And I have the DMCs for it. I haven't pulled the special fibers, so it's not fully kitted yet. And I don't have fabric for it. This is Liberty House by Blackbird. Again, not kitted, not started. America the Beautiful. Now I know some of my patterns are out of print. I am not selling any of my patterns at this point in time. This one is one of those examples. I know this one is out of print and it's not kitted nor started. America the Beautiful. Rosewood Manor. Not kitted, not started. Marines by Vickery Collection. Not kitted, not started. Old Glory, Ship's Manor. Not kitted, not started. Liberty Lane by Abby Rose Designs. Not kitted, not started. Again, I've been collecting these over several... I've been collecting these a long time. Let Freedom Ring by Abby Rose Designs. Lincoln Home Sampler. I love these Jessie and Me's. They're beautiful. Grant House Samplery. Grant House Sampler by Chessie, Me and Me. Friend of the Mill Sampler, Chessie and Me. Tallman House Sampler, Chessie and Me. Always Remember Plum Street Samplery. This was, isn't this Expo in the spring? I know it came out fairly recently, and 32 count cobblestone. And I'll just pull threads. Memorial Day, hands-on designs. I saw this model at StitchCon. It is beautiful. And I do have the sulky threads. So I have threads, but not fabric. This one, Liberty Inn, Plum Street. That big white stone house. 32 count Cafe Misto by Fiberlicious. So I'm going through my Fiberlicious fabrics. That's what I bought them for. Gettysburg, Sampler, Chessie and Me. Grace on Thee, Plum Street. Equality Sampler, Plum Street. On 40 count Flax. And Liberty for All with my needle and thread, Brenda Gervais. Liberty for All. On 40 count Woodland. From, I purchased it at Lynn's in Madison. I don't know who makes this linen. I'm sorry. Could be R&R, but I'm not sure. They have a pretty extensive selection of R&R. It's very possible it was theirs. Let me see. Missed this one. I'm pretty sure it's in this book. Yep. There's 5 different designs in this book, and I'm stitching all of them. This is American Eagle, Blackbird, and Salute to Abigail. Oops, I just passed it up, sorry. Salute to Abigail. My friend is stitching this one. I think she's finished it finally. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The colors, these pictures never do these patterns justice. Why do I feel like I didn't show all the patterns in this book? But maybe I did. No, I didn't. That one must be bigger. No, this is small. And I skipped over it. Oh, that's why. Sweet Land of Liberty. So I'm going to be stitching all 5 of those. Again, they're not kitted yet. So let me pull my larges. Okay, so mediums were if you add them and then divide in half, 101 to 200. Larges are 201 to 300. And this one is American Sampler by Plum Street. I have started this one, but I literally have 1 line of stitching, so I think you'll understand that I'm not going to show it. It's this one. I didn't write. What fabric? I'm stitching it. R&R Weathered Shingle. R&R fabrics are fabulous to stitch on. Absolutely amazing. But again, I only have 1 line, so I won't bother you. I'm going to skip over that one for the moment. And I'm going to skip over that one for the moment. And this one, here, Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. This is on 40 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. Right. I substituted one of the colors because it totally blended. I don't know why I have so much fabric in here. It blended too much with my fabric, so I changed the light color to Ginger Snap. But here's where I'm at. These colors are amazing. Teresa's a genius. So, Land That I Love. that Freedom Ring. This one I would like to have finished next year. Diehl Studios. I started this in whatever year it came out. What year did it came out in 2017? I started it. I'm sorry, I started it in 2018 actually. Okay. So I started it in 2018. It's on 36 count properly primitive by Under the Sea Fabrics. And see, this is how much I have done. I have the building done. It's completely done. Back stitching, everything. So you could see why I would like to have this guy done. Yeah. So I'd like to get this one done. And I will talk about that one in a minute. So there are 3 I will talk about in a minute. So let me grab my extra large, which are, if you add them and divide, 300 stitches up. Okay, these are extra large. I'll talk about that one, talk about that one. This one, One Nation, Twin Peak Primitives. Now I got the PDF and I printed it off, and then I took it to Office Max and had them coil bind it for me. I do not have a color printer, but their patterns are color, but they have a symbol underneath. So if you copy it, I really don't, I prefer black and white patterns, but I can see the symbols underneath. I can. It may be the black, but the darkest color in here, whatever that is. But that makes sense that it would be so dark. Talk about that one and that one. There's a few more that I'm not going to talk about yet. American Flag Sampler, Rosewood Manor. And what's this one? This one is First Thanksgiving, Twin Peak Primitives. So I have fabric for this, but I need to, I think I have fabric for this, but what I need to do is get the threads. And look at the flags. So I'm calling it a patriotic. I am. But for Thanksgiving, again, it's not started. And if it doesn't get started next year, I'm good. Not a problem. This is with the needle too. I know I just showed this one. This is Diehl Studio. I have not stitched on it yet for my WIPGO for this month. There's a with the needle, excuse me, and this is with the needle too. This is on 40 count flax, and here's where I'm at. I'm sorry, this is the 40 count natural. The colors in this are just stunning. So I need to work on that for my November WIPGO. So obviously I'm shipping it out. But it's for next year also. Okay. So let me put these aside for a moment so I can explain my WIPGO. My WIPGO board, main board, looks like this. And all these little boxes, because it says 7 days, so each box is a day. And a day for me is 2 hours of stitching. I am not having box 13 be free this year, but it's, what I have on there, 2,000 stitches total. So each box is 100 stitches. So that's what I have on here. Now some of these, let me pull the right one, like this one says Plum Street. I can pull from any Plum Street that I have started. And if I want to start a new one, it has to be patriotic themed. That's the rule I'm placing on myself. That's with Plum Street, Erica Michaels, and Rosewood Manor, and Blackbird Designs. Because I have some other by those designers that are not patriotic, but I want to stitch on them, so I gave them their own number. And then I also have my oldest WIP, which is Persephone. She's on there. I'd like to have her done next year. That would be really, really nice. Plus I have a few others. So I said I had 4 WIPGO boards. That does not mean there's 4 boards with totally different projects on them. As you saw, that one just says Plum Street, Pickney Plum Street. So what I'm going to do is one of my boards, I have 3 Mirabilias on my list. Persephone, my oldest, Lady of the Flag, and Queen of Freedom. And they are here. This is Lady of the Flag. She has been started. I don't have much done on her, but I want to work on her. She is larger than, she's in the extra large category. This one, and it's on We the People Fabric by Fabric Flare. And that's all I have done. I am doing the blue conversion that someone graciously shared on one of the groups in Facebook. So I do not have very much done on her at all. And so obviously I want to put a few stitches in her. Now Persephone, my oldest WIP, she has her own spot on the board. Well, this one is Queen of Freedom. I haven't started her yet, but she is fully kitted. So Queen of Freedom. I just finished getting all the DMCs for her. I'm going to stitch her on 32 count French Lilac by Picture This Plus. She's a queen. She deserves a royal color. That's what I've decided to do. And the colors, I think, will sing on that fabric. But Persephone, my oldest WIP, started her in 2013. And then we didn't fight this year, which is good. But when I tried to bring her out before to finish her, we fought. This is Vintage Antique Fields. Right? It's a Lugana. And this is where I'm at. I am not doing the background. I don't like the background. So I'm not doing the background. I'll just do the lady, which will match my other Mira ladies. Anyway, Persephone has her own spots on the WIPGO board. So what I'm doing is I'm going to have a rotation. So week 2 of my rotation are my mirrors. And if Persephone's number is called for, I think she has 3 spots on my WIPGO, then I will stitch on her. But for the Mira week, I am going to look at my WIPGO board for my Miras. And let's say Jessie Marie calls number 7. Okay, number 7 is not Persephone. She calls 7 and 24. So I'll stitch on those projects. But for my Mirabilia week, I'll look, oh, this is Persephone. Actually, both are Persephone. So I need to put a week's worth of work into her. If Persephone is called on WIPGO, then I will look at the numbers. And like this is Queen, so this is Queen of Freedom. And this one is Lady of the Flag. So I'll stitch on one of those during that week. So that's one of my WIPGO boards. This one is, yeah. I am going to have 3 new starts right at the beginning of January. I'll probably do one like December 31st, 1st of January, and the 2nd of January. One of them is going to be this one, Lady Liberty by Kesslin. I'm going to stitch it 1/1 on 25 count white, Lugana, antique white, using the Tudor silk from Gloriana. 100% of the proceeds from the sales of this particular pattern goes to Wounded Warriors, Marine Mom, near and dear to my heart. That one is a new start. This one is when I saw a model at Keepsakes. Forgive the crinkle. I gotta get the crinkle. There we go. I saw this one stitched at Keepsakes by one of her customers who passed away. And Barb finished the stitching and it's hanging in her shop. It's beautiful. I'm not normally drawn to Adam and Eve samplers, but this is just beautiful. And so they gave me the Stitcher's color conversion. So I haven't pulled any threads yet. The original Stitcher used cotton instead of NPI. And so she used a lot of the DMCs that are given on the chart as alternatives. But she also changed, like this banner here is like a light blue. So she changed that to a Gentle Arts thread because the Stitcher really liked Gentle Arts. And Seraphim Tobias 40 count is what I'm going to stitch it on. I picked this up at Country Sampler. Yeah, that's where I picked it up. So I need to pull the threads for that one. And that's going to be a new start. And this one is definitely being started on January 1st for Laura. And it's Scarlet House. I do not have the one that the Elizabeth Eels, that everybody's starting, but I have this one, and it's my first Scarlet House. And so I asked them if I could just start a Scarlet House, you know, to be in the stitch along, or start along, however you want to word it. But it wouldn't be the one that they are doing. And this is Heaven is My Hope, Scarlet House. I picked this up at Lynn's in Madison. It's just beautiful. So with that, I have threads, and I don't have fabric yet. That's one thing I'm going to go to Stitchville before the end of the year and get a piece of fabric. On 40 count, it'll fit on a fat quarter. So same thing like I did with my Mira board. This is my new start board. So Lady Liberty, the Scarlet House, which is Heaven is My Hope, and Paradise Lost. So if 7 is called, I would stitch on that week, which I think is the first week. I will be stitching on the Scarlet House piece or the Paradise Lost piece. So I'll pick between the two of them, which one I want to stitch on. But that'll give me a little more direction so I actually get work done on these. And then my last board is my samplers. There are 3 samplers. I really want progress, if not completion, done next year. So my week 1 would be my new starts for the year. Week 2 would be my Mirabilias. Week 3 would be whatever's on WIPGO, whatever's called. Week 4 are my samplers, and these are the 3 I've chosen. This one is Common Ground. This was given to me by a friend, a Just Man. And it's fully kitted, and she started it, and it's on, I believe, 28 count. It's on the call for fabric. It's definitely a linen. And it's this one. So she gave me all the threads. Most of it's DMC. There is at least 1 silk in here. All the embellishments, and I'm stitching it on 28 count because I want the embellishments to fit, not to mention she already started it, so it would be kind of have that momentum of our friendship. The other one is this one, this daunting one. I blame Deb. She just gets all of us in trouble, doesn't she? From Country Stitchers, y'all know who I'm talking about? This is from the Gift of Stitching magazine, Historic Countries Sampler. And I have a friend, a local friend that I've stitched with. She's a really fun lady. Her name is Jean. And she finished hers, and she showed it, and it's just amazing. Again, I don't have a color printer, but this is just the layout. It gives you an idea of it. And you can still purchase through the Gift of Stitching magazine website the digital downloads to get all the patterns. And I am pulling from my stash. Using overdyes, DMC, whatever I want to use, mostly overdyes, cottons. And so I have England Part 2 finished. I have Ireland done. I have Holland done. And I was working down here in the Spain area. But I want to keep working on it, and I need a little more motivation. I got kind of burned out on it. And then, of course, this one needs to be done next year. 3 Things by Moira Blackburn, because I'm making it to commemorate my husband's and my 30th wedding anniversary, which is next year, next March. And it is on 40 count Vertil white, and I am almost using my needle. I'm almost halfway finished. These are DMC colors, called for, 1/2 threads. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful piece. The picture doesn't do it justice. And I know of another friend who I have stitched with. She finished this and she had it framed and she showed us. Absolutely beautiful. So on 36 and 40 count, I tend to stitch 1 strand over 2 threads, and under that varies depending on what I'm stitching. So week 4 is my samplers, week 5, or you know, those oddball days. I think Sunday to Saturday is a week. So I will look, and if there's those oddball days, I'll just stitch whatever I want to stitch on. But that's what I'm going to go and do. So if, again, Jessie calls 7, common ground, and 24 is common ground. That's interesting how that worked out. But then I can stitch on them and get some progress on them. Also in 2022, I'm going to be kitting this guy up, The Greatest Loss, by Sampler Cove Designs. She's the one I did the Dutch sampler, and it's a beautiful piece. I haven't framed it yet though. I do have a frame for it. The Greatest Loss. And this calls for 2 greens, 3 golds, 3 blues, and 3 purples. And she calls for a Veriswa silk. So I'm just going to slowly over the year kit this one up and kit up Floral Bouquet. I don't have the fabric for that one. But that's my stitching plans, quilting plans. I will be quilting also, obviously. So this is the one I need to get done. I haven't started it yet. I have fabrics to get a good start on it. Fractured Star by Judy Niemeyer. This is foundation paper pieced. This has all the foundation papers in it. And I'm using masculine, it's for my son, so masculine, almost autumnal colors. And I'll be working on this part. If I can get this part done, because all this background, you don't applique this to a background. It's a little more involved than that. But if I can get those done, I will be very happy. So because he graduates next year. I might also tackle this guy, Tales of the First Ladies by Quilt in a Day, except instead of doing the big 12-inch blocks, I'm going to do the smaller one with the 6-inch blocks. And the quilt is approximately 46 by 46. Tackle this one for my husband. I have the flannel for these blocks, but I don't have the background flannel. And then Patriotic, we have our Dresden flags. We have this one by Buttermilk Basin, the Star Spangled Eagles. This is actually cotton applique. This one, again, Buttermilk Basin, Baskets of Glory. The center is wool, and these are cotton. Long May She Wave, Country Sampler. Going to do the format with the table runner, so it'll be 24 by 48 approximately, instead of the quilt. And this one, Liberty by Coach House Designs. I think that's just beautiful. And I can't find the other quilt I was looking for. God Bless America from the magazine. I put it in a safe place. So, with that in mind, I went to the quilt shop yesterday to buy a gift for a loved one, and I picked this up for myself. It's just a little like 14.5 by 13.5 little hanging, these little gnomes. And it was a whole kit. So it has all the fabrics with it. So I like gnomes. And then I picked up this book for myself, Simple Whatnots 2, because of, well, there's a lot of quilts in here. As you can see, I've tagged it. But the main one is they had a kit for this particular quilt that I was so tempted to get. I didn't get the kit, but I bought a book for the pattern. It's this one. It's called Old Glory. And again, it's a wall hanging. So it's not a full bed size quilt. It's roughly 18.5 by 28.5. And I love this one on the front. And like this one and this one. There's a lot. As you can see, there's a lot. I'm looking at scrap busting. And I think this will work very well for scrap busting for myself. And then this one, Change of Seasons by Bonnie Sullivan. This involves wool applique and cotton, and this is all wool applique, these birds' nests. But then look, it's gorgeous. Excuse me. And then this one here. These are just absolutely beautiful. And these wall hangings, this one's Autumn Farm. There's a bunny pillow. You can make these sunflowers. I love this one. So yeah, I mean, there's 16 different patterns in here, and I think I marked 12 of them. So yeah, it was a good thing to pick up. But what am I all into as we get into the Christmas season? It's cold here in Minnesota. We had a dusting of snow, that icy snow. I don't like the ice. The snow, but the ice, But these are the best socks. NordicSocks.com. Trust me, your feet will love you. Your feet don't get too hot, they don't get too cold. And this is the Bergen, B-E-R-G-E-N Classic Collection. I mean, look at the patterns. They're just so fun. They're just fun. And then they have other collections too. So I'm into my wool socks this time of year. So, yeah. Christmas gift idea. Especially if the recipient would live in the colder or has cold feet. Just saying. This is the 3rd year I've ordered from them. 2nd or 3rd. It does come from international, so you have to give yourself that shipping time. But it comes well packaged, and these smell like wool socks. They don't smell like smoke or anything else. And these wash and wear so well. So I'm all into my socks this time of year. So, oh, and I signed up at my quilt shop for a block of the month starting in January. I told my husband that's what he's getting me for Christmas. Plus, he has to give me the tools that I need to be able to do that, and I will give him a list. And all he has to do is walk in with the list, and they will even wrap it for him. So if you are near the Noble Quilter in Elk River, Minnesota, you can give your significant other a list, and they'll walk in and take very good care of you. I went in yesterday, and I did not realize that it was their holiday open house. I didn't realize that, so it was pretty fun. And they have some just amazing quilts on the wall. It was like, oh yeah, this pattern, you know. And I had to look in my arm. Okay, no, I gotta put that one back, and I gotta put that one. Yeah. But I will let you guys go. And if you have any more questions about how I'm doing my WIPGO, feel free to ask. I hope I explained it well. My WIPGO board, this is my WIPGO board for 2020 as of right now. So the dark squares are completely done. The X's are completely done. So you see, I have some that have been called and I haven't finished. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The idea is to challenge yourself and keep yourself interested in doing your stitching. And that's why I like it. But I will let y'all go so I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been cleaning and organizing. So we'll figure out what I have to clean and organize next. So have a blessed Thanksgiving here in the States. And just wherever you are, enjoy this time of year. Love to you all. Bye.